Okay, it's 6:07 on Tuesday, March 15th. This is a meeting of the Board of Directors of Abington Community Access and Media, Inc., Abington ACAM, the private nonprofit 501c3 corporation that runs the cable access studio here in Abington. We have 4 of us here tonight. And the first item on the agenda, old and new business. I don't think we have any. Nothing carried over. Approval of meeting minutes. Everybody has minutes. The only adjustment to the minutes I saw was the 5th paragraph on the first page. We received a letter dated July 9, 2021 from the IRS confirming the corporation's tax-exempt status and further stated that the corporation has been removed from the auto revocation list. The addition was on which it had been erroneously placed, as it says in the letter that I read at the October 14th meeting.
Right, and we'll be speaking about that status later in the meeting, correct?
Yeah, actually, that's about all there is to say about it, but yeah.
I'd motion to accept the annual meeting minutes of October 14, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is Director Vacancy and Clerk. One of our directors has stepped down and he was the clerk, so now we need a new one.
I'll do it temporarily
Thanks, Peter.
until the new guy gets here.
All right, do we need a motion? Or is everybody fine with that?
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that
I'm
too.
fine with that.
I feel like I'm at the little kids' table here.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm kind of low, but I didn't want to go up.
This is as high as my chair goes. So the next item on the agenda is tax return 501c3 update. I just updated you on the 501c3.
Did we skip job descriptions, or is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Job descriptions and employee benefits. So Mr. Malloy has updated the executive director job description and benefits. You should have 4 pieces of paper related to that. 2 of them I highlighted, the 2019. Those are the original ones.
I can elaborate, Lisa, if you wish. We recently, back in October, we had provided an updated job description for Kevin's assistant, and in following up with that, reviewing the job description of our executive director, we wanted to reflect any changes that have come about, which really they're not many for the job description of executive director. However, the benefit sheet was to be updated to include that 11th holiday that we gave to our other employee. I would add the executive director job description, which is at the bottom noted as version 1.0. Much of this was templated from the original content, but it might warrant a board review and approval of the contents of this job description. And I would suggest the same happen for the benefit summary of the executive director, which would then now include the 11th holiday. That's about the most dramatic change.
Which is a federally mandated holiday, Juneteenth.
Yep, and I believe it's listed, yep, number 5 on page 1. So it is spelled out as, the title might be Abington CAM Executive Director Job Description, replacing the job description originally dated as June 2019. And the benefits package. So I'm just trying to get my
Oh, okay.
provided for the executive director. Also itemized and including the Juneteenth holiday listed as the 5th holiday on the list.
Yes, that's the new one.
That's the name.
This is the
And
new
that too might warrant a vote of agreement by the board. Not sure if everybody's had a chance to review it.
I have, I'm fine with it.
one. I have two. I'm fine with
Yeah.
it.
So do we have a motion?
Move to approve it as revised.
On second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
So for clarity, approve job description and benefits.
yes. I'll update the document with the date of a board approval and share that with the board so they'll have hard copy or electronic version of it. And we'll keep it in our files.
Okay. So now tax return and 501c3. So we have a new accounting firm now, DiBiase and Nash. They were referred to us, and I am extremely happy with them. They've been very attentive. They got everything up to 2020 done so far. They're currently working on 21. I don't think I've seen any emails with their financial statement, financial review yet, but that will be the first thing they'll get to us. And then the Form 990, Form PC for 2021. So we're currently up to date on the tax returns, everything required, state and federal, the 2019 audit, and the 21 is not due until May 15th, but they should have it done probably by next week. So we'll be caught up to date, and the state then, since we're up to date, will not revoke the corporation, and the IRS will not revoke the 501c3 because the corporation's revoked. That won't be an issue. It hasn't been an issue. I actually emailed the state and heard back from them in April, and I emailed them again recently twice and called them but never heard back. So they haven't told me they have any issues with anything, and as I said, we are up to date. The 2021 is on the way.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this out there. DiBiase and Nash, did you ask them, okay, are we good with the nonprofit tax filing? There is nothing we're missing. This is all that we had to do.
I think that final document is the
Yeah.
PC, Public
Yeah.
Charity of Massachusetts.
The
Now
form.
that the Fed's
You know
done.
what I mean?
now the
But I'm just
PC.
saying that as a accounting firm, they're very familiar with the nonprofits, so they know what we have to file every year. So there's not going to be any surprises in the future.
No.
That's
No.
what I'm asking.
As far as federal filing, it's the Form 990, which they've done up to 2020 so far. And the state is the Form PC, which is also done up to 2020. Every year from 2009 through 2020 of the Form 990s and the state PC are complete.
Oh.
They did the financial reviews that go with the state filing, and the state actually requires the Form 990 as well. It's the same, a copy of the same form that they want with the Form PC. And a financial review, which is just really 3 pages of talking about the corporation that the accounting firm does. 2019 was different. It was an audit. It was a little more involved, and still just a few pages of them talking about the corporation. I thought they would be looking at every single receipt, which they did look at the receipts, but not as in-depthly as I thought they would. So we got the 2019 audit, and the only reason we needed an audit in 2019 was because at the end of 2018, going into 19, the last December of 18, I discovered that there were almost $300,000 in prior year's revenues that had not been cashed. and they were like back to 2014, I think. So because the tax returns for those years, at least the Form 990s at that point, had already been done, we would have either had to pay for an audit for 2019, for the year that we received over 500,000 in revenues. I found it in 18. We collected it in January and February of 19. So being over 500,000 in revenues that 1 year put us over the limit for just the financial review. We needed an audit for that 1 year. The alternative was to go back and amend all of the tax returns that had been done from 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, at least 5 of them at that point, 19 too, actually. Amend those tax returns and pay for them again. So at least $10,000 right there.
Yeah.
So either, and it would have been Form 990s and Form PCs and financial statements. So we had discussed this previously.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you were on the board since we talked about that, but the board decided to go with the audit instead. So that is what we did. We had an audit, and it was one day. They all came in and looked at what they needed to look at, left, and sent us the report. So that brings me to one point, is that for the 4 years up until now that I've been working on this, I have been doing everything, nights, weekends, holidays, when I'm not in work. Spent many hours working on it, and this audit was the first time that I've had to actually take a day off from work to be here on a weekday, 9 to 5, according to their schedule.
The auditor's schedule. Right?
The auditor's schedule, DiBiase and Nash.
Right.
So I'm asking that for that particular day that I lost pay from work, that I be reimbursed for that day's pay. I'm not asking to be paid for working on the audit. The audit has been 4 years in the making and many, many hours. That, not that I'm complaining, just so everybody's aware, I would like $150 for being here the day of the audit.
And that's considered reimbursable expense, not like a salary expense.
Yeah, I'm not, if I
It's
was asking
extenuating
to be paid for
circumstances.
my hours, it would be like pennies on the hour. Yeah. So I would like a motion.
So moved.
Can I just add before the
Sure.
vote happens? I think, just for clarity, in the bylaws, there's a section around compensation of directors. The line clearly states reasonable and necessary expenses incurred in the performance of such services around being a director. I think this is a reasonable expense. It's not extraordinary.
Thank you.
I would second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
We're going to check to you ASAP.
So it should be smooth sailing from here on out, right?
Right.
With taxes.
So next on the agenda is pretty much just like everything. The FY23 budget, I met with FinCom via Zoom on, I think, was it February 3rd?
February 8th.
February 8th. It was the first-ish of February. And as we had discussed earlier, we presented them with this FY23 budget, which is asking for a total of $373,400. It's actually $282,000 that is our expected revenue for the year, and then another $91,400 that is FY21 retained earnings. So this is for FY23, and I don't know if anybody cares, but I'm going to tell you. The reason it's FY21 retained earnings is because once money is left over in the enterprise fund, every year that retained earnings has to be certified by the state. And they didn't certify the 21 retained earnings until January, February of 22. So every year's retained earnings is not available the following year. It's available the second following year.
I didn't know.
And once it's certified, it's always available until FY21 retained earnings is used. FY22 retained earnings will come along and be certified as well, but 22 remains certified until it's used. Every year does not have to be recertified.
That's,
So that's how it ended up on the 23 budget. And last year it was erroneously placed on the 22 budget. It had not been certified yet. I wasn't aware of this whole certification process, and actually, we did not put it on. The town accountant put it on at the time.
We
So-
amended the warrant last night for that.
Oh, yeah?
The
Oh, good.
special town meeting.
Yeah, okay. So, it actually worked out okay because we have something to spend that particular amount on, so we should get pretty much the whole thing back out of the enterprise fund. The
so
whole
that town hall, did he get?
That something is the town hall AV remodel.
AV
Do we have
remodel.
likely to
Oh,
be
did I
done.
not
That's
say that?
everything.
That's earmarked for it, correct.
Yes.
Now, is that gonna, does that have to be done in 2023? So that means it has to be done after July?
It has to be
After
done
June 30th.
after
After June
July.
30th, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
July
in
1st,
July
anytime
1st.
starting July 1st. So we have to spend the FY21 retained earnings July 1st or after until December 31st.
Now, can we purchase that with our, what we have, our extra in our account and then get reimbursed, or does it have to be dated?
Yeah, it has to be dated
Okay.
July 1st or after.
Okay, so it has to be
So if we don't happen to spend all of this $91,400 for whatever reason, it still remains available in FY24, but it would have to be included in the budget again.
Okay.
It's certified. We don't have to wait for that. So if there was a fall town meeting, we could ask for it at that point.
Now, Kevin, have you talked to the town hall and everything? Do they on
Public director.
schedule
Yes.
with after?
Yes, we can mention, we can chat about that for a moment in the
Okay.
director's report if you like.
Okay.
So, and also the 282,000, the reason, part of that is 22,500 in other property-related services, which is enterprise fund verbiage, as I understand it, for miscellaneous.
Okay.
The reason we have that and the reason we ask for the total 282,000 is not because we expect to spend that much to operate the studio in FY23. But if we don't ask for that much and we do happen to spend it, say we buy a new camera, we can't ask to be reimbursed out of the enterprise fund. Of course, everything on here we pay for in advance out of the studio's corporate bank account and get reimbursed out of the enterprise fund. That's what this budget is all about, being able to get reimbursed out of the enterprise fund.
Lisa, our accounting fees that we have encountered as we did our audits and the reviews of the previous years, as well as the public charities for the state and the Form PC there, all those fall under fees that would be considered other property-related services also?
Professional fees, and
Yeah, professional fees now, $6,000.
so we only did 6,000, but that accounting is gonna be come out of the other related services, because we didn't account for it in professional. Right?
This year, yes.
This year, yes.
So the accounting fees have gone up. We were paying $2,000 to KPM every year, but as we found out, they only did the Form 990. So if they had been doing the Form 990, Form PC, and the financial review, they would have been, as I understand it, $2,000 each from KPM. So,
So a
although
total of
it's
4,000?
6,000.
Oh, 6,000.
Form PC, Form 990,
all three
and
of
we
them,
need a
okay.
financial review every year. No more audits, but there's a financial review requirement by the state.
So our accounting fees are going up from 2,000 annually to roughly 6,000.
You're right, they're going up, but apparently that's typical of the accounting world. If they had been doing everything, we would have been paying that all along. We paid them what they asked for. It's not like they asked for more and we didn't give it to them and they didn't do everything, the previous firm.
Yes. I think there's more communication.
Yeah, I don't understand. Everybody has told me they've never heard of needing one firm to do your state forms and one firm to do your federal forms.
No, they
So-
do it all.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm
They
not
definitely
sure,
do that.
but as I told you, I'm very happy with DiBiase and Nash, so,
It's not cheap, but it's been very successful.
yeah. And the thing is that now we
Timely,
are,
too.
after they file the 2021s, we are all caught up and it will only be relatively $6,000 a year from now on.
Right. Only.
Only.
Yeah. Pretty expensive, but.
So you have professional fees as 6,000 fixed, but that's 6,000 fixed for the accounting.
Accounting, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't include any other professional fees as far as.
No, it does not.
Okay.
So if there was something else that came up, that would be in the other property-related services, 2025. The website maintenance is the, right above postage,
Mhm.
so that's accounted for.
So that total invoice from the accounting, that's gonna come out of the other property-related services? 'Cause
This
that
year.
invoice was for everybody, I mean, past years for
Yeah.
their reviews and everything. Okay. Because we didn't budget it for that.
This year,
Okay.
well, no, it wasn't budgeted. I was unaware.
Surprises happen all the time.
The enterprise fund fee has gone up by $500, but
Mhm.
that is fixed by the town, and apparently it's very low relative to other enterprise funds in town.
So that whole enterprise fund thing, we're paying the town $7,400 to manage our money.
Yep.
And we're just such a small budget.
Yeah, it's like 2%, isn't it?
It almost seems like
3%. Yeah.
it's not worth it. I'm not.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, well,
don't have a
That's an awful lot of money
We don't get
for
a
a small,
choice, yeah.
for a
We
small.
don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We don't
Cut
have a
budget.
choice. You can't go in front of the town and like revoke it or turn it around because it's not
No,
necessary.
they actually, we have a new town accountant now, and he sent us out a statement a while ago that said $6,400, and I thought, oh great, it went down $500, and then a couple days later, he says, oh, wait a minute, we recalculated that at
That's a correction.
$7,400.
Mm-hmm.
Have they
Yeah.
ever told you how they calculate it?
It was on that,
Okay.
I think you had
Yeah.
comparisons of other department-managed funds, but
yeah, they have a formula. I'll look for the email again and send it out again, but I really didn't study it because they're gonna charge us what they're gonna charge us, so. It's not negotiable as I understand it. So, any, do you have a motion? I believe we need to formally accept the budget.
Move to accept the budget.
Do we have a
second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Did FinCom have any questions beyond this?
Not really about the budget, no.
Okay.
I remember one question, I can't remember the other. There were two different
Can't
people
remember.
that asked.
They were critical of the money that we have squirreled away in the bank and its earning potential, and question, I believe, if I'm correct, they questioned why the corporation wasn't seeking something that would have a higher yield than like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, my
Well, I think we're
answer.
trying to do that, but, you don't
Yeah.
want to just jump in without knowing what you're doing first.
Yeah,
you know.
my answer,
It was good,
Yeah.
it was good constructive conversation, I think, but.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But my answer to that was that there aren't too many options that are fully insured, and I personally am not prepared to take any risk with the corporation's money. I think that,
And actually, we're about to get to that.
Yep.
and
gonna get to that
We can
now.
talk
But that
about
was
the
one of
money.
the questions from FinCom.
Thank you.
I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was something about the enterprise fund thing. So, banking, money market, corporate funds, all of this made sense, and I had something to say about it at the time, but
Do you want me to cover the
Increase.
money market topics? The checking balances?
sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
as the treasurer, I can report that, and this is as of today, but it's in our audit, in our agenda just as equally, perfectly well. In our checking account, $152,326.07. That's not really earning much in the checking account, not really earning anything. We have two CDs, one worth $257,603 and another worth $258,606. Those two CDs will expire on 5/30 or come to term, mature
Yep.
on 5/30. Each of those CDs are earning roughly $79 each month. Last year, in 2021, each of those CDs earned approximately $1,153 at that pace. As April 30th approaches, we should evaluate, can we roll it into another CD if that's the pleasure of the board? There is a money market fund that we have $300,129. I think the board should consider moving some of that money into a CD and let it earn. Just for ratios of earnings, I think the money market is earning approximately a 1%, and monthly approximately, 0.1%.
0.1.
$23 a month about versus the CD, which is earning, like I said, $79 a month. Now, interest rates may rise, and we'll see where we are in May, but
They will.
I think, so roughly, in total, the assets of our bank, and our bank is Abington Savings Bank, $968,664.14 in total. I think the board should consider, and maybe it's appropriate to discuss, but do we plan to roll the CDs over to new CDs at new rates as they mature? And should we consider perhaps moving some of the money market money into a CD to earn? Oh, you got the new CD rates?
Yeah, the new CD rates, which
Are they the same, or do they
They
go
might
up?
change by May 30th.
Yeah, they changed, but, so the ones we had were 10-month CDs, and they were at 0.4%. This has a special 15-month CD at 0.45%. The ones around those are 0.15 or 0.25 for shorter or longer. So I would be inclined at this point to go with two 15-month CDs for the existing CDs, to just roll them over.
You don't think that they'll increase within the next 15 months?
This is, wow.
The
Well,
rates?
in the next 15 months, this was a 10-month CD, and before that, we had 18 months that were 4.0. And
So-
these are
Point.
0.4.
Yes.
And it's still, right now, around
talking about 15
0.45.
months?
If it went shorter, they have a 9-month that is,
I was thinking about splitting it up
0.1.
into multiples and do it month after month, so that way, as the rates increase, we're rolling it over to higher rates.
we could do that.
What is 0.4? What is the smallest
You
one?
have this page, if you keep thumbing
Where?
through, there's,
I do.
yeah.
didn't see, oh, here it is.
Well, again, if
Because
that
it
page is
doesn't
in there,
math how
we're
much
still
it is.
back to, those are the rates as of today.
Yes,
CDs.
which could
Yeah, as of
change.
today, right.
as of today.
Yep, and this is, we have until, I think it's like 10 days after May 30th, or they roll over automatically.
Yep, that's correct.
So, actually, we don't really have to decide what to do with the CDs today. So, my thought was to do something with the money market account that is only earning 0.1% interest. And the reason that we have these CDs and money markets, 258,000, 300,000, is because when we recovered the money in 2019, we voted to put it all in a CD. So that's where we got that figure from. And at the same time, there was, I forget how much, must have been about 900,000 in the checking, so we took out 300,000 and put that in a CD as well, just for round numbers at the time. So the 300,000 is not like a magic number, higher interest or anything like that. That's just how it came about. So I would like to move some of the 300,000 out of the money market and put it into some amount of CDs. And so the other thing that I haven't told you yet is that that enterprise fund voucher that we all signed was for $77,337, which adds to our bank total and gives us $1,046,732 once we get that money back from the enterprise fund.
So you're thinking about $800,000 that we want to turn into CDs? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, well, so that would give us $225,000 in the checking right now. And with the town hall remodel at $90,000, and the average voucher we get back is like $75,000. So that should be enough. It shouldn't be an issue. If we move the entire money market amount to a CD. So the money market right now is like a checking account, except it gets that 0.1% interest. We can't
Something's
write
better than
checks.
nothing.
Yeah, we're limited. I think they allow you like 6 checks a month on the money market, but so we can write checks currently, but it's not earning much interest. So I would like to move.
Well, these CDs
Some
don't
of it.
have much either. These CDs are
No.
0.15. The only one you want to go to is 15 months, but I don't think it's smart, because I think in 15 months, I think the rates will go up.
Do you think so?
I do. So I don't think it's smart to put all of them in a 15-month. I'm thinking more
Okay.
of monthly. We would take 100,000 and put them in, and another 100,000 the next month, and so that we're rolling it over, so that when the rates increase, we can roll them over to higher rates.
So, okay, so say we take 200,000 out of the money market and get 2 $100,000 CDs.
Yeah, but you would want to do it in separate months. We don't want to do it
You
in the
would.
same month. I'm talking about climbing, so that way when the
Yeah,
rates change.
That's the hope.
Well, yeah, that's the hope. But 15 months, it just seems like a lot of money to put in for 15 months when you don't know what the rates are going to do. They could go up, and then we're stuck there.
Yeah. Well,
You think
so
within 18 months, it went from 4.5 to 0.4.
I think we should not have a money market fund. I don't think we have the need for it.
No, I don't either.
And I think
Well,
even
it's
if,
better than nothing.
as soon as we want, we could put 150 of the money market into a CD. As you said, that's a move towards a CD. And then the following month, which will be April, we could get another money market, another CD of the other balance. So I'm just saying, we could get 2 CDs out of the money market, and then
I would leave
in May,
at least 100,000.
these
in
would
there.
start. But we're gonna have 2 1/4 in our checking at the time we get reimbursed,
We're going to have 2 1/4. Then you want to do the town hall,
which would be 90.
and then
Which, the town hall, we will get reimbursed from the enterprise fund.
yeah,
So
but how quickly?
We're still gonna be okay.
a couple days. It doesn't,
And that-
it
and
takes
that-
them no time to
that
write a
work-
check.
Won't be until Q3 anyway.
So also, something that just occurred to me, when we got the first two CDs, we got one, and then a few months later, the other one. So at the time, I don't know, they all have, depending on the length of time you pick, they all have different penalties. But we actually, when we had the first CDs, we closed one and reopened it as a new one because the penalty for closing it was less than what we earned in the entirety of the new CD. We didn't lose money, we actually gained money because we went in for the higher
So you're saying
interest
put
rate.
it all in one and we'll close it if there's a new rate that's
Well,
higher?
the thing is that if we, as I said, the 300,000 is really just a random number. If we went with, say, six $50,000 CDs, and we needed $50,000, we could close one CD.
You could break one out.
And only be penalized on the 50,000, not the entire 300. So, as to what you're saying, I think the way to go is definitely to, have more than one
Multiple.
for the 300,000.
I just have them
Should we
climb
consider
instead.
even a
Yeah.
couple of 50s, but go to the bigger numbers for the other
A couple
ones?
of
Maybe-
hundreds.
That would-
I was
yeah.
thinking a couple $100,000 ones.
So the
They're all gonna make the same
100,000,
one.
we pay the penalty on the entire 100,000. If it's,
Small.
say 5%, because I don't
Okay.
know. But, so it would be $500 penalty, whereas if it was only a $50,000 CD, we'd pay the penalty on the 50,000, so it'd be $250 for closing it,
Okay.
early closing.
Okay,
So
now,
that's the thing.
with that being said, they only insure up to 200,000?
No. This bank, and it's not on any of these, but if you look at the homepage, here it is right here. The homepage of Abington Bank, it
Mhm.
has this little logo on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
FDIC, CIDF, DIF, FDIC, DIF. So, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and Depositors Insurance Fund. If you click on those, it actually tells you about them. And this bank is insured for the entire amount of your deposit. It's $250,000 through the FDIC, and then the remainder is insured
Oh,
by
that's
the
good.
DIF. So with Abington Bank, we would never lose money.
Okay.
Not all banks are DIF insured, but this one is.
The
Maybe-
rates are gonna go up
Yeah, I agree.
multiple times this year.
I
They
think
are.
so too. That's why I'm like, I don't want to put
The
something
Fed
in
has
15
said
months
they're
if we
going
can get a better interest rate later on. Maybe
Yeah,
we should just climb them.
Yeah, the Fed has said they're going to, so.
So I printed this CD information offline. I didn't speak to them about the term of the penalty for closing it, but that is definitely something I would ask them. It went up, it was 3 months, and then the last time I talked to them was 6 months. It does depend on the term of the CD, how long, how much the penalty is.
Well, can we take an action now, so in many ways, we're prepared for when the April CDs are maturing, but also maybe
May
start.
ones? You mean the May ones?
Sorry, the May ones are going to mature, but maybe we can plan for, even start breaking up the 300,000 into 50. I think we can even start now.
Yeah.
Like, if we could do 250s in the month of March, maybe 100 out of the money market in the month of April, and we could take the final 100 or the balance in the month of May into CDs. And then we'd be in a position to have the 50 available if we have to crack into it, the other 50 available if we have to crack into it. They're all gonna mature. Is it 6-month CDs we could take?
Well, so, did you find this page?
I don't have that page.
I do.
Yeah, you should have it with
Because
the,
I don't see the 10-month in here, but then I see a little thing that
Yeah,
says
they don't-
10-month CD special, 12-month
no,
CDs.
everybody has one.
So what is the 10-month CD special?
They don't do that one anymore.
It says right here, didn't you just print this out? It says CDs available, open online, 10-month CD special.
Oh,
So, Maybe looking to see what that is?
Get started now. Yeah,
I wonder if it's like the point, well, I don't know, 12 months is
I don't know, but
0.15,
yeah,
so.
12 months
And
is
0.15, you're getting 0.1 right now in the money market.
Yeah.
Half of the point better.
But I think this one, the money, I noticed the money market, if you went to the other one, you'd get 0.15 too, so my thing is like, wait until the rates go up if we can get better instead of locking it in. So the Emerald premium money, that's
So-
0.15.
There was, I talked to her about that.
And you have to have direct deposits into it.
Over 500,000. Yeah, over 500,000, that's why.
No, there's a 250.
250.
But it says eligible requirements. To be eligible for this account, you must have a checking relationship with a recurring direct deposit.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. We don't have a direct deposit
Okay. Is that the problem?
that could go in there. That's what it
Alright.
was.
Nope, that's why.
So we're back to, do we sit on the 0.01, or do we start moving some money now? I agree the rates are gonna go up, but we could be saying that in 2 months too. We could be saying it in 4 months.
Yeah.
It's when are they gonna go up?
Well,
But
hopefully
anything
next month.
under 15 months is basically the same as we're getting.
Same, yeah.
Right.
So I don't know, do we wait till the next meeting and see what happens there? Do we put one in there for, I don't know, because I feel like by the next meeting, we might have a better rate. We might not, but I have a feeling we might.
So if we put 100,000 in now for
We're locking it in.
15 months at 0.45%, in a
Okay.
month we'd make $45.
Is that the 15 month you said?
Yeah.
0.45?
Yeah, the 0.45,
So you're talking about $30.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, why don't we wait and
Yeah.
see if they go up a little
We
bit
were-
more? I mean, is it really worth $30?
We were making $500 a month on our 300,000 CDs at one
I
point.
know.
Yeah, this is pitiful.
It is bad.
Well,
And there's no
whatever,
other investment besides an annuity, which annuity really isn't a nonprofit investment.
Yes, it is, because it is guaranteed.
It is guaranteed.
Tell them.
Yeah, I called
You called him?
I called a separate investment guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he said there are only 2 ways we could go, CDs, and he said even with banks, yeah, but with annuities, they are insured for the whole enchilada. And right now, 2 to 5 year annuities are going between 2 and 3%.
Okay. What my concern more is how do you set up an annuity in a nonprofit organization? That's what I'm trying to look for that information.
So
like how is it set up that it's for the corporation, not for a person?
The same idea as any of
A corporation is a person.
the bank accounts we
Well, this
have.
corporation isn't a person.
It is under the law, a corporation is a separate entity, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Distinct, just like a person is. So, you know, there was
Well,
a
I know
famous
we're a
court case.
corporation and we have to guarantee almost everything. We are part of everything. That's why you know what I mean? I'm assuming you would be the beneficiary?
No. So,
I mean, with an annuity, you have to have somebody.
an annuity, the
Corporation.
corporation would be the owner and the beneficiary, and one or more of us would sign for it. With anything the corporation does, somebody has to sign for it.
Yes.
With the bank accounts, we have, the 3 of us are on all of the bank accounts. So somebody has to sign for it, and there is actually my social security number associated with this money as, for the corporation. The corporate tax ID number is also associated with it because they're business accounts, but it would be the same thing with the annuity as that.
So you can't use the tax ID number to open up the annuity? You
The
have to
tax
use a-
ID number is associated with all of this, but there is a person that signs for, no matter who it is, one of us, always has to sign for the corporation. The corporation can't have anything to do with money that's not associated with a person.
Okay, so does it have their social security number too, or just yours?
Just mine. But they also can sign the checks.
I don't understand why it goes against your social security number.
It's
I'm
not-
just trying to
it's-
understand that part of
Yeah,
it.
it's-
Because I know our corporation is, because that's who we are owners, so we have to put our social security number. But you're the director, not the owner. And the corporation really doesn't have an owner
Right.
here. So that's where I'm getting confused.
Because we have a board of directors and we're all directors, we are on the accounts.
Yeah, I
Is it-
understand that, you are signers on the account,
Uh-huh.
but what I don't understand is why is it under your social security number versus the corporation?
It is,
That's
it's
what
under
doesn't
the
make sense to me.
corporation's number as well. It's not, it has nothing to do with our tax returns or
I know,
our income
that's why I don't
taxes, but-
understand why they're requiring it.
I would
It's always
imagine
done.
each
I mean, is the
corporation
annuity,
has to have
my
an
question is, the
individual.
annuity gonna be the same way? Like, how, is that gonna be set
The
up?
annuity would be with the corporation as the owner and the beneficiary, and one or all of us would sign for it.
Okay.
Somebody always has to sign, just like the credit card, somebody has to
What
sign
was the,
for the credit
what
card.
was the denominations to get to the 2
I-
or 3%?
Anything, I just wanted to confirm what Lisa had
Like
found out
educating
with her
ourselves.
financial advisor. So I called somebody else,
Sure.
and he does nonprofits and churches and all kinds of stuff like that,
With the one that you,
that I
so
called.
he's a nonprofit investor?
No.
No.
He said the only there's really not a whole lot of difference between nonprofits and for-profits as far as investment goes.
Mhm.
The only real thing here is the safety.
Yes.
And he said that's the major concern in nonprofits. And he said only two ways you can go are CDs and annuities. And I said, thank you. And I really didn't go any deeper because I didn't know I didn't want to take up his time
Yes.
unless we were serious about doing this. And I've known this guy for 10 to 15 years through another association. And I'd write him, I'd give him my bank book. I totally trust him, so.
Well, maybe it's worth having a conversation with a group of us of what
Well, that's
numbers
what I
we're
was
talking
kinda-
about.
Yeah, just kind of
You-
educate us a little bit about it, of the
And-
annuity process and how it works and what, because I'm not very familiar with it, so I'm
Okay.
kind of a
I
little
happen to
hesitant.
have it printed out.
Look at her, she came prepared. She knows I
I'll
have.
This
make
is
it.
his individual or a different one?
Somebody else. Or I don't,
This is the same one that I had sent everybody in email before,
Mhm.
but I will print it out before you all go and give you a printed copy of it.
Well, the whole reason why I wanted to have somebody come in is because when you have somebody come in and you have questions, and one director asks a question, then that makes you think of another question, you
Right.
know what I mean? So it's like a think tank kind of thing, so we're all getting, that
Right.
information at the same time versus on the telephone with somebody or something
no,
like
I
that.
understand what you're saying. And truth be told, I didn't know it until today. He's retiring in September.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's having somebody take over for him. But again, I just wanted to, like I said, I trust him implicitly, so I just thought I would get a good idea of what our options were.
Yeah.
And that's what he told me. So,
I just want to be educated on the decisions we make
Yeah.
for the
And-
corporation when it comes to that, and I'm not in that area.
I'm sure anybody who's good with annuities would, say the
Yeah.
same,
I think just reading this will give you some idea of like where
But I already read
it's
it.
going.
That's the problem.
Did you? Oh.
I'm like, I still haven't. I don't
Well,
know.
my thought about talking to him on the phone was because, for one thing, he always, this is Chris,
Mhm.
the guy that I've been dealing with.
somebody different.
Mhm.
Yeah, he always has fantastic information for me, but he needs to have an idea of what you want him to talk about when he comes in.
Well, I want to talk about the annuities.
Yeah.
If that's our only other option,
Yeah.
I want to know every detail about it, like the pros, the
Uh-huh.
cons, like what's our options,
The risk.
the risk.
So there is more than one company that does annuities, and he picked this particular one. So if you spoke to him and said, tell me about this one, he told you, well, I'm not too sure about this, how about another one, then he would have some idea of what he needs to bring in for his presentation. He's very knowledgeable, but he does have to,
Prepare.
prepare.
Yeah.
And the shortest the shortest period of time he said for the annuities was 2 years, which right now, I'm seeing the Fed raise the base rate like 2 or 3 or 4 times at least this year. Because inflation.
So if we did have, I believe it works the same way, if we did have more than one, we could, close out an annuity and go for the higher rate, depending on what the penalty is for the closure.
Of the annuity?
Just like the CD. The penalty was much less than closing it in the future interest.
So you're talking about closing out the annuity and opening up a new annuity or a CD?
She's saying if in an
Close money
emergency.
down,
If
move it
rates
into
really,
effect.
skyrocketed.
Bounce up high.
Yeah.
So you're kind of thinking about putting all your eggs in one basket in the annuity?
Well, you don't have to. Like I said, I kind of been stuck on this 300,000 because that's just what it's always been. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not-
kind of like diversifying.
There
it
is
little bit.
a money cutoff for the annuity, but
Well, if you're going to be able to get 3% versus 0.4, you might want to do a couple of annuities and stagger them a little bit
Yeah.
or something like that.
so that
Exactly.
we'd have less of a penalty if we did, and we'd have to spend, the 200,000 in the checking, 600,000 in CDs
$700,000 before we tap in.
before we needed it.
I know.
What would we even spend it on?
I know, that's what I'm saying, but it's nice to diversify, not put everything
Yeah.
in one, yeah.
Oh, so
Stagger and everything, just in case, God forbid, somewhere down the line, you might need it or whatever.
even
Taking less of a hit.
if we replaced everything in the studio, it wouldn't be $50,000. So
Cool.
so
Do you think we can have him come in? Do we have to give him a specific annuity? Do you want to
no.
sidebar?
No, but I think it would be helpful to speak to him. I mean, he knows what I think, so just so he is prepared.
Is everybody else good with this? Does anybody else want him to come in and actually give us a little?
No, I
Okay.
speak with them
Okay.
and tell him what you're thinking,
Okay.
and he can say you have something different in mind than I do. Then he'll bring what he talked about with you, bring what he talked about with me, and make a presentation.
Okay.
Yeah. My number one concern was the risk, and the CDs were risk-free in my mind, and continue to be, even though I know
They are
if we
risk-free.
took them early, there's a penalty, but the money market, I think we have too much money in the money market, earning too little.
Mm-hmm.
Too little.
I'm not
But you're-
against even moving some money now into a CD, but I understand if we want to wait even a month from now, the things are gonna, I think there is a good trajectory
Because
for these to
these are the
increase.
rates right now, so it's
Yeah.
not more than the money market, so it's not even worth moving. It's like,
Well, the other two.
Unless you went into that.
yeah, but.
The other two
15
CDs
months.
do mature May
May.
30th.
Mhm.
So that would free up more than $500,000 right there.
So we'd have to have him present fairly soon.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's no rush. I mean, we could just take the money out of the CDs and put them in the checking. There's no rush to do something by
Yeah, we can hold it.
June 6th.
We're trying to
You know.
be,
Because
So
at least you're
the
getting
other-
something, it's better than nothing. And if you put them in the CDs, you're basically getting nothing unless you do the 15 months, which I don't think we should do a 15 month because I feel like the rates are gonna go up.
Right.
Okay.
And we're gonna be stuck with it in 15 months.
I agree.
I'd rather wait 2 months and then, if we can, if it's even next month, it's probably higher.
So the other thing that I probably didn't say again was that the annuities do have a limit. They're fully insured up to $250,000 per depositor. So if you were a signer on one annuity and I was a signer on another for the corporation, we'd still have, only a $250,000 limit. It's not per signer, it's per owner and beneficiary.
So then,
So
we would only,
250,000 for the annuity,
so we would only do
250.
250, but what about any interest it makes and everything?
Yeah, then, so we'd probably want to do 240.
I'm just saying, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you
or
don't
a
want
separate
to.
annuity. One
Yeah.
in this one, one in
No,
another.
that wouldn't help us. 250 total. Bob
Doesn't matter
has
if
an
you have it with
annuity.
one financial advisor and another one?
Different,
Oh,
Really?
Bob has an annuity for Abington Cam, Lisa has an annuity for Abington Cam. It's $250, no matter how many people sign for them, because it's for the corporation.
So a corporation can
Can
only
only
have
have
An
a...
entity.
an entity can only have
Okay.
250,000.
Yeah, every, like, if you had your own
Okay.
annuity, Bob's annuity, 250 is insured. After that, you can have more than 250,
Okay.
but you're not fully insured.
I didn't know that, because we
Yeah.
have one, so I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, I forget the name, it's like FDIC, DIF, something else insures annuities.
All right,
So we're gonna
basically,
sit
you
on
can only
this money
have one
right now.
annuity.
Well, we could have several smaller ones.
You have 550s. 550s to 250 total. Come close to 240.
With the amount of money you have, just do one at 250 and then scatter the other ones, because we
Yeah.
can only have one that's insured. And if you wanted to guarantee insured, you can only have one.
Correct.
So that makes me feel a
Well,
little
you could have, you know, 4 $50,000 ones for 200,000.
But the total,
They'd be fully insured.
Yes.
okay.
But you couldn't have 6 $50,000 ones with 2 signers. Only 250
Yes.
of it would be fully
Yep.
insured, no matter what.
So we're sitting on the money for the time being.
Okay.
And a couple months will pass. But
Okay.
we may have further discussions with annuity companies to
Well,
discuss.
now that you said all this stuff, I'm thinking 250, maybe, or 240 or whatever, maybe we should have him come in, do an annuity for 2 years for because he said, what's 2-3% right now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, do one annuity just for that much, and then we'll do the CDs with the other until things, because we can only do one that's
Annuity.
insured. We're not gonna do more than one, right? For more than 200?
Annuity,
Yeah. 'Cause
250.
it's
250, no matter, if we had 10 of them, we're only allowed a
250.
total of
Maximum
$250,000.
So, right now, I would be okay with 250,
And then did the
and then do
CD.
CDs with the rest of it. I didn't, okay, because I'm thinking you're gonna put all of it.
Okay, so how...
I don't want to
how
move
about-
towards an annuity until we get clarification
Yes.
or
Well, that's-
documentation of the risk involved.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bring him in to have a presentation for that, so that you need to know what he's presenting. But he's presenting annuity, so what else does he need to know?
Well, this is one, the brochure that I sent out previously is one company that does them. There are others. So...
Do you remember what company that was? I don't have it on
I
the,
didn't print out the first page because it
Oh.
was a lot of color, but,
Cyan.
what is it?
Cyan.
Yeah, cyan. Milestone. I forget the name of it. MYGA? I forget. I don't know. Sagicor. Sagicor, that's what it is. So how about this then? If I take 50,000 out of the money market and put it in a 15-month CD at
At
0.45%,
0.45.
50,000.
Yeah, I'd support that.
Because there's no way we would ever.
And we'll
need-
still have more than 250 in
Yeah.
the money market.
We'd have almost $1 million aside from that for the next 15 months to spend.
okay.
Anyway, okay. So can we have a motion?
I motion 50,000 from the money market move towards a CD for the 15 months, which we have documentation saying it'll go to 0.45% interest rate.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So I think that's more than enough about the corporate funds. Next on the agenda is our executive director's report.
Anybody who's in the audience wants to follow along, there are copies up at the table.
You're still awake?
I'll just kind of tick down the
I'll wait
list.
for the TV version.
Yeah.
We'll start with staff updates. We've brought a longtime volunteer on board to fill the position of Hayden Prescott, who actually was received a job out of state, a full-time job. Sad to see him go, but David's been volunteering with us for prior to my coming on board here. So he's done community meeting, he's done government meetings, community meetings. He's got a background in computers.
Yeah, met him.
Yeah, so we brought him on board, and he's already doing government coverage and taking assignments on a regular basis now. Going down to marketing and outreach, we've seen gains in basically every platform that we have: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's interesting to note that it was 2 years ago that we actually had to restart our YouTube channel. We are almost ready to close in on our old YouTube channel, and looking at some of the area access centers, we actually have eclipsed and passed some of theirs. So we're doing well as far as folks coming on and seeing some of the content that we're generating. As you see there, some popular videos. The summer concert Studio 2, always popular, as well as our sports teams. And as far as number of views, we're almost at 190,000 since January of 2020.
Wow.
Student interns, we're up to 8. And they have shows in production: Intern Views, Senioritis, and the Jack and Becca podcasts. There are 3 shows that are currently in development at this particular time, and we can discuss that at a later date as those materialize. Cable cast and programming. I took the liberty of, I know we had a previous meeting, it was kind of asked as to some of the programs, whether it's homegrown programs or stuff that we're capturing from other communities. Since we last met, actually between October 1st and the 28th of February, 521 new programs that have been added to the playback system. If you look down as to some of the episodic programs, you'll see where some of those stand since. These have been produced since we last met, since October 1st. Also in here is church services. Those are always popular. Sports coverage. Now you will see this see spreadsheet. This is kind of a breakdown of anybody who's kind of curious as to how they're being done, who's doing them, if interns are involved, if they're live streamed. This is a comprehensive from the start of start of September right up until the end of February. And there's a further breakdown as to if you need just simple numbers as to the different sports that we cover. Breakdown as far as government meeting coverage, always popular here in the community. When we get to some of our community coverage, some of the upcoming events that we're going to look to cover. Abington High School, the drama club is doing lockdown. They're doing that this Thursday and Friday. While we cannot air these programs, they are excellent opportunities to have our interns or even community members who are new to working with video get behind the camera, direct, do audio. Of course, they're always popular. St. Patrick's Day Parade is back, so we'll do that this coming weekend. High school sports, that starts in April. Let's not forget annual town meeting on the 4th, and then the junior and senior proms, we'll do our best to capture the Grand March. Miscellaneous, there is a new office printer. We will soon retire the old printer. That's actually under, that would be something that would be under the ACAM surplus equipment. You also have a spreadsheet on that has been compiled, which we will look to find ways to either gain compensation for the equipment or ultimately maybe donate it to a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, depending on if they're doing like a metal drive. A lot of this is legacy equipment, analog switchers, things that we no longer need and is basically just taking up storage. So we will get rid of that. The ACAM newsletter, it's in development. I have an outline, but it's just a matter of finding time to sit down and then doing it on a regular basis. The moment if they can do it something quarterly, and then as it becomes popular, maybe we would go to a monthly model. Depending on how COVID behaves, and if it's in the rearview mirror, I'd like to do an open house this summer. This would be an avenue to not only have membership come in, but invite new people and get volunteers. It's what we're looking to do these days. And I've been having regular talks and conversations and meetings with our web guy. And the hope is that in conjunction with the newsletter, the weblog would be kind of a similar type thing that would be on the website that would drive folks there. Not on here. It was mentioned earlier in regards to the town hall project. Right now, the idea would be is to purchase the materials sometime early July and do the build in early August. Have the vendor come down and refurbish that. The town has already had conversations with the town manager, and there will be monies that they've asked for certain specifications, like we're gonna have a smart board, have the ability to be able to not only have a regular meeting, but have it be a hybrid meeting. We do a crude hybrid meeting. It's nothing as to what we would hope to be able to do down the road. Any questions?
So, I'm sorry, the one thing about the town hall remodel is that our town manager has asked for some upgrades beyond what Kevin had in mind. So he has promised us, if that's the right word, ARPA money, which became available January 1st, he said, in the $20,000 to $40,000 range. So
For the upgrades?
For the upgrades.
So they would assist us financially.
They're not-
Yes. So we would still pay for it and then be reimbursed either out of the enterprise fund or through the ARPA money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering about summer camp and stuff like that. Is that coming up?
I don't have that on the radar at the moment, but yes, I've already this past weekend I did a taping with, and you may see on the list, Movie Time with Matt and Derek
They
Terrell.
came back and did that?
Yeah, we did. We taped it this Saturday. Oscars, of course, big show. So
Okay.
they come and talk about it, and they did a fantastic job. You already see what they're learning. Their first year in college, and talking about the different things, and
That's
the
good.
depth of putting together a movie, and so it was fantastic. But I've already talked with them,
Okay.
and I would come to the board and probably have a discussion. If we're going to have it more, be just the single. Maybe if we did it, had multiple camps, depending on the availability, and maybe talk about maybe giving them a small stipend for their work, because they did a fantastic job, and the kids were really engaged.
Now, was it going to be free again, or are you going to charge, or how are you going to do that?
We can discuss.
Okay.
We can discuss.
I'm just curious, to see if
open
that discussion started, because that
Yep.
would be a great revenue base later on down the road.
Maybe that could be an opportunity where if in fact it was something that was a nominal fee,
Yeah, nominal.
maybe it could be something that goes to the individuals. Maybe it's kind of a balance where we would give them a stipend, but we would recoup it from what we're charging. Just
Kevin,
gonna-
it was last year we had this first summer camp, correct?
Yeah.
Was it a 3-day event or 1
It's
week?
2 weekends. Actually, it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks of 3 days, so it's
2
technically
weeks.
6 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Can you remind me of the age groups that we brought in on that?
I think what we did was we did grade 5 to 8.
Did some of those 8th graders return to an internship program?
Not yet, but I see them regularly, so I have my
You
eyes.
get your eye on
It
them, right?
it sparks the interest.
Sure, and again, it's
It's a
just to digress for half a second. I mean, what's great is we've refreshed the crop of interns we have. We have
saw that.
freshmen, a group of sophomores, and then we got some graduating seniors. So it's
Yeah,
flourishing.
It's coming back, good.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's like
Nice to
college.
see.
If you're a big college team, you're going to have your stars. They're going to graduate, and then the idea is that the next crop, you're going to start grooming them.
Yep, exactly. This is great.
Awesome. So we're good? So the next item on the agenda is the APS MOU, which is the Abington Public Schools Memorandum of Agreement, understanding which comes up for renewal in July. And Jessica is the school department board appointee. So believe from our earlier conversation, you're gonna
We'll
speak
touch
to
base with Peter
Schaefer.
and let him know that we're about,
Yeah.
ready to discuss everything.
So we're gonna put this off until our next meeting after, or whenever you've had a chance to speak
Mhm.
with Peter. General business items not reasonably anticipated. I don't think we have any, do we? No? Issues? No. So the next item on the agenda is executive session. And it's, well, not that it applies to us because we're not a public body, but in the open meeting laws, it is number 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. And we will not be reconvening after. Can we have so do we need a motion to do that? Being an agenda item? How does that
Yes.
work?
You
So-
get
Yeah,
a motion to go
believe
into
so.
executive session.
So do we have a motion?
Move to go into executive session.
One second.
Not to return.
And not to return.
Yeah, not to
It
reconvene.
should
Not
be a
to
roll
recon-
call vote.
Yeah, so do we have a second?
I second.
And by roll call, Peter,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Jessica,
Aye.
Lisa, aye. So, oh,
Are we to speak of?
we
what
didn't schedule our next meeting, I'm sorry. That got cut off.
Is the topic of what our executive session about?
To conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel.
No, that's the rule I'm asking. Oh, I guess, okay.
Yeah, it
That
covers
is
it.
the topic.
It covers it.
Yeah, that's all.
That is the topic.
It
Are
covers
we in
it.
executive session?
We didn't schedule our next meeting though, so before we
wanna-
go,
But wait, there's more.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
I kind of cut it off on the agenda, so I didn't see it. Does anybody have a preference?
When are you looking?
Well, when do you think you would be able to speak to Peter and get back to us?
Well, I can send him an email, but I'm away next week.
Oh, I wasn't thinking next week. I was thinking
Okay.
April.
April?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys want everything but the last week in April. Should be available on Tuesdays. Yep.
Not the last week in April.
No.
So, anytime between the 4th and the 22nd?
Yes.
But not the
Do you have-
14th.
Not the 14th. Oh, yeah, not the 14th. Do you have a preference? 14th is not good
Do you
for
have
How
any
about the
preferences?
12th? Oh, no, wait.
What about the 19th?
I like the 19th.
the 19th?
Yes.
April 19th it
April
is.
19th?
Yeah.
As long as there's no school committee.
As long as there's no school committee.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, we will have,
Let me know.
hopefully something back from Peter Schaefer, and I will, Tuesday's good, because I will have Chris Fulton come in, the financial advisor, and speak to us
That's great.
on that date as well, if he's available. If he's not available and
We
there's
can
a school
switch.
committee meeting,
Like I
I
said,
will
we're
send
free.
out an email.
Even the 21st, I mean, the Thursday too, right? We can meet on Thursdays too, or no?
That,
It's
the 14th
up to the board.
is charter review.
The 21st, I was thinking.
That would be
The
fine.
20th.
The
Would that be
19th or the
better?
21st?
Yeah, either one.
One of those,
Either
during
one?
that, yeah, either or. So we can
Is the
figure that.
21st a Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if the 19th is no good, everybody can do the
All right,
21st.
so it's
Correct.
snow day.
Snow day.
A snow day?
April.
Snow day.
April.
Such an animal. In fact, do you have to take another vote, or was the other vote, does your vote
We don't
stay?
need to vote for a meeting, do we?
Or does it just kind of re-enter?
Oh, yeah, because we actually, technically, we went into executive
Yeah.
session, right?
Yeah, then you
Whoops.
remain, so you probably want to retake that vote.
So, do we have a motion to move to executive session to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And Peter?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Jessica?
Aye.
Lisa, aye.
And this is, you will not return.
Now you
We
wanna
will
shut
not
the
return.
cam-
We will not
Now you
reconvene.
wanna shut the cameras off.
Yeah.
Yes.